Hello there. It's James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Johnny Test, Fred Flintstone, and one of my personal favorites, Leonardo. And you are listening to Epic Tales from the Sewer. It's totally awesome. Turtle power. Go, go, go.
Welcome to the Epic Tales from the Sewers podcast. Grab yourself a slice, strap into the party wagon, and hang on tight. Give it up for your host, the totally radical, if slightly mutated, Justin.
The Last Ronin II Re-evolution. Story by Tom Walsh and Kevin Eastman. Art by Iseo and Isaac Escorza and Ben Bishop. Colors by Luis Antonio Delgado. Letters by Sean Lee. Start out, there's a sunrise. Over the city, we can see the sun coming between the building. We hear the voice of Amanda Rose Connor on her newscast. And so, a new day rises over Manhattan Island, bringing with it more questions than answered. Questions like, why is it when two of the most notorious and dangerous gang bosses in the city we all call home, decide to declare a war on each other, it's always the innocent who suffer the most? We see kids playing in the street, and then the aftermath of all of the carnage from the battle between the gangs. Now we see some footage during the gangs. This is certainly a question the residents of Hell's Kitchen are asking themselves today after the Chelsea cartel and the Midtown Mafia turned their neighborhood into a literal battleground last night. We show Officer Wantabi commenting, currently, an unofficial truce has been declared between the opposing factions brokered by Mayor Palmotti's office, according to Lieutenant Jiro Wantabi, Public Affairs Liaison for the NYPD. We've been able to get both sides to stand down. The police are coordinating with the mayor's office to ensure that the truce stands. The investigation is ongoing. I can only confirm that arrests have been made and that the law enforcement is working diligently to identify the individuals who are responsible for initiating the riot. A so-called riot that has claimed multiple lives on both sides, injuring innocent civilians caught in its crossfire, as well as inflicting countless dollars worth of damage to properties and businesses in Hell's Kitchen. You could see an ambulance picking up many people. Now it shows a wanted sign with closed-circuit TV of two faces. The criminal gangs alleged headed by Maximilian Antonio the Saint Cortez and Maya Parks the Angel Copeland seem to have escalated in their long-running turf rivalry for low-level conflict to full-scale warfare. In what seems to be a perfect storm of chaos and violence amidst a deafening silence from City Hall and other governmental agencies, we are left with yet another question desperately in need of an answer. Where are the heroes to fight for the weak and innocent? We can only hope that their answer will come sooner rather than later. Amanda Rose Connor reporting from Hell's Kitchen. It says, The Last Ronin II Re-evolution from the Ashes.
Well, looks like the reporter chick got back okay, says Tinker 2.
April replies, yes, an extra credit for Amanda for not mentioning the resistance. The longer we can keep our situation under wraps, the better. Agreed, says Casey Marie. Tinker 2 goes back, what's to hide, April? The whole situation sucks rocks.
I agree with that too, Tinker. But if you hadn't helped us out the way you did, things would be way worse. You saved a whole lot of lives with your sub.
I guess. I bet I could have done even better with more warning time before April went all Noah with her waterworks.
Unfortunately, that short notice couldn't be helped. The surprise attack on our underground bases caught everyone off guard. We lost all of our faculties and most of our supplies and equipment. As for manpower, we're down to just one platoon-sized group that was able to escape. And too many of those folks are WIA and treated here in my wife's triage center.
We can see a bunch of wounded soldiers being helped out in the infirmary.
The only weaponry and ammo we have available to us is stashed for a few friendly territories around Manhattan. Good news is, with Marley and Ahmed getting the comms back up, we'll be able to extract some of it in Roosevelt via Tinker's sub. And I can probably call some of my black market contacts, too, and get some other supplies we're going to need, like food and stuff, says Tinker 2. How's security looking on Roosevelt, Casey? Good as can be expected. My crew's been working with Professor Honeycutt to set up surveillance systems and spotters all over the island. We could see her crew with Honeycutt, the android. Plus plenty of tripwires and booby traps all along the shoreline. Well, gotta say, it looks like we're doing the best we can with what little we have. I wish there was more intel, but isn't that always the case, really? We're really just gonna have to keep prepping for the worst while we hope for the best. Geez, says Yi, as they go to show where the turtles are now hanging out. We could see all 4 of them just hanging out together. This is the worst. I still smell like that yucky sewer water, says Yi. Don't complain too much, Yi. That sewer saved our butts, says Moja. Yeah, could have been way worse. Thanks to you, says Moja to Uno. Going underground was a good call, Uno. Thanks, Moja. No biggie. Would have never happened if Odyn and Yi hadn't got us out of the tower, though, he says, sharpening his sword. Honestly, it was a good teamwork all the way around, says Moja. Too bad those construction jerks screwed up the whole mission, says Uno. Yeah, who were those mean guys, says Odyn. And what are they doing with all that crazy tech, asks Yi. No idea. Maybe Grandma or Sensei will know, asks Moja. Well, they know about your telepathy now, which kinda sucks. Yeah, it was either that or get left behind, bro. Besides you what? Asks Uno. Switches to telepathy. Quiet, they're coming. Hey kids, what's going on? We were just talking about the guys that we fought in the old foot tower, Sensei. Perfect timing. That's exactly what I wanted to talk to you about, says April. Honeycutt walks in with them. They've got Commander Zarinaga, Casey Marie Jones, and April set to talk to them. The commander says, let me ask, were the men that you ran into wearing what looked like medieval costumes? With criminal big red crosses on their chest? No, they look like normal construction workers, says Moja. If you don't count the swords and axes that they were trying to kill us with, says Uno. Don't forget about the fancy computers that Yi found. So cool. Yi is just completely looking at Honeycutt now. Tell us about the tech you saw, kiddo, asks April. Oh, sure, Granny. The servers they had were really high-tech, almost like what you see on TV shows or movies. Except these things were real. I think maybe it was their security system. But if that's true, the building's not just for apartments. It kind of felt like these things were soldiers would have. You know, like resistance armories? Soldiers, asked Casey Marie. Charlatan seemed happy holding up the last few years in this tower, north of the city, but you think he's got sights on Midtown now? It's possible. Those construction workers could just be the soldiers he dressed to blend in while they rebuild Hiroto's tower. And there's the South American business connection I mentioned earlier to consider. Perhaps the Chevalier has formed a partnership with them. The mainframe configuration Yi described certainly seems far too sophisticated for either the Midtown Mafia or the Chelsea cartel to manufacture, says Zayden Honeycutt. Agreed. With that kind of tech, it's just a matter of time before they figure out we're biovac to this island. Yeah. We show now looks like Jigsaw, hanging out at a pier with the purple dragons. He's smirking, and he's got a smoking gun he just used. We hear Casey Marie say, just like those bastards somehow found the lair. Dump the body and get ready to launch. You think killing him was such a good idea, Jigsaw? Well, didn't seem like he was willing to give up his boat, Monarch, and we ain't got time to haggle. We need to get over to Roosevelt before those resistant folks get too dug in. Yeah, well, we really don't think 7 of us is going to be enough. Plenty. We're going in small, swift, and stealthy, just like them ninjas a taste of their own medicine. Besides, we already set up a diversion to cover us while we're going over those mutants. This is a big play for the purple dragons. Time for us to sink or swim. They throw a body into the ocean with a splash. Now we can hear a different voice. The assault on the tower has moved the timeline significantly. It's just a matter of time before the press comes sniffing around to prepare our strike force immediately.
Understood. What about the creatures that attacked us?
Nothing new to share for now. Until we know their location to consider them a wild card.
And the other players?
Even with this new wrinkle, we remain ignorant to our true plan. When the order is given, they will not know what hit them, says the Chevalier. Open your ears and listen closely, for there is a change in our plan. I've received an anonymous tip that the commander of the Resistance has retreated to Roosevelt Island.
Roosevelt? I thought that dump was off limits due to contamination.
You thought wrong, Miss Copeland. We all did. Instead, like rats from a sinking ship, a ship they, ironically, flooded themselves. Our foes find themselves deeper in isolation than ever before. My Crusader Knights are prepped for an immediate assault, whilst we have them on their heels and licking their wounds.
And what about the city, Mr. Charlatan? Even if those riots were fabricated, the resulting damage was not.
Yeah, quit playing your pretend war games and costing me and the Angels some for real good people. War games for you and Miss Copeland's organizations have played quite well, Mr. Cortez. Not to mention the marked efficiency of Chief Farley's police force, appearing to keep the peace while in reality feeding to the chaos. Together we've been able to root out the resistance fools. Now we stand at the precipice of crushing them completely.
So now what, Charlatan?
Chief Farley, your police and good mayor and our friends' gangs need only await future orders from me as my Crusader Knights finish off the remaining resistance troops. And once they do, I promise you, your very team losses will soon transform into very real personal gains. So for now, stand by, he says, talking to all these people on a video monitor. Him in his white suit sitting in his chair, looking out over the city from Hiroto's old tower. We hear him say, "As I unleash the storm." We see a vision of what he hopes happens, with the resistance crushed, all the turtles dead, with Case Marie and April, all of them, swords sticking through them. "No!" says Moja. "No, no, no!" Moja wakes up, after having a terrible dream, seeing this very vision. "Moja! What the hell, Moja?" says Una. "What's wrong, sis?" says Yi. It's the bad guys." She senses that they're on the way. We see the knights with the red cross armor getting off of helicopters coming onto there. And then, also accompanied by the construction workers they fought earlier. "Richie, I want you and a platoon of your best men to remain with me in the city. Send everyone else to Roosevelt." "Aye, aye, Mr. Charlatan." "Tell the men to don their weapons and their uniforms. The order to strike will be coming soon." "Yes, sir," says the men in hard hats. We see now, looks like the police force out on the street. "Damn it, Casey, answer your phone," says Jiro. We see a satellite image showing the helicopters going to Roosevelt. "Looks like my little anonymous tip paid off. Diversion's on its way." We hear the voice and now see Jigsaw standing there on the beach of Roosevelt Island. "Get ready to have some fun, dragons." "They're here," says Moja, "on the island. But what bad guys, Moja? Maybe it's just a bad dream," says Odyn and Yi. "No, this isn't a bad dream, Yi. It's real. I gotta warn Sensei. I gotta warn everyone. They're here!" Violently, just through everybody's head, at the same time, the telepathic message comes through from Moja. We see Tinker and April and Zayton Honeycutt, and we see Commander Zerinaga and Casey Marie Jones all at the same time going, "What? Crusader Knights!" Resistance soldier says, "On the beach! Light 'em up! Fire in the hole!" Big explosion knocks a whole bunch of soldiers just into the air. "They're still coming! Open fire!" The resistance does its best to keep them back. "We've got invaders on the beach," says Commander Zerinaga. "Perimeter teams engaging, but they're still too outgunned to hold them off for long." "I'll take my crew and get some troops to back them up," says Casey Marie. "What? What the hell was that voice in my head?" says Tinker 2. "Sorry about that. Later, Tinker. We need to make sure that the entrances in the command center are secured first," says April. "I will continue to monitor and operate the surveillance systems," says Zayden. "Me and Ahmed, we got the comms." "What about us? We want to help too." Fully equipped, ready to go, weapons packed. All 4 turtles are there, ready to go. "Good.
I was coming just to get you four, says Case Marie. I want you all to stand here with your grandmother until I give you new orders. But Sensei, you know we can fight. Yeah, just like in the old foot tower. Yes, you can. And that's why we need you kids here, while my team focuses on the tech stuff, says April. Case Marie takes her squad out there. We're going to need capable soldiers watching our backs. Keep shooting! They're getting past us, says the Resistance. Case Marie, in her purple outfit with her half-Casey mask. Don't worry about that, Sergeant. We got your six. Jumps into the fray. You expect her to say Goon Gala. Smash these idiots! Smash them some more! As she jumps on them, knocking them down. She's clearly bigger than they are, and her muscles are just glistening as she knocks them over, just really tearing through everybody. As she starts to say don't stop, she's interrupted by another boom explosion. Hot damn, says Jigsaw. Sounds like all hell's breaking loose on the beach. Bad for them, good for you. There! At the wall! Stop them! The Resistance tries to take out the dragons. Son of a... As they're ambushed. Jigsaw, his arm lights up. We could see it looks like a mutated arm with his bone inside. Sorry, dragons, as he smashes in through the steel plate. But I got some unfinished business to attend to. And he ends up getting inside the base. Now we see back to the Charlatan. Is everyone ready to go? On both islands? Yes, sir, says Chief Fairley. Our strike forces are within the outside of Roosevelt, are all in place. And the tower? All secure as well, the shadowy figure on the phone says to the workers. And await your orders. Then, when it's time, commence Operation Phoenix. Is everyone ready to go? On both islands? Shadowy figure on a cell phone. Yes, sir. Answers to some of the soldiers that are wearing hard hats. Our strike forces are within the outside of Roosevelt, are all in place. In the tower, says the shadowy figure. We're all secure as well. And await your orders. Then it is time to commence Operation Phoenix. The shadowy figure, we can just see the smile and the red phone. Tell our soldiers to rise up. Foot soldiers rise up on Roosevelt Island out of the water, heading to the beach. Now into the fray against Resistance soldiers barely holding their own against the Charlatan's knights. We could see the white armor with the red, and now a whole bunch of foot soldiers coming on. The Resistance and the Crusader Knights. The street gangs and their leaders. And then the so-called Angel and the Saint. All of them at the same time are taken out, but must be the resurgence of the Foot Clan, as they kill the Saint and the Angel, the Resistance, the Purple Dragons, all of them. To City Hall, to kill the mayor and the police chief. Rise from the ashes and destroy them all, says the smiling figure. Mr. Charlatan, we're getting reports of surprise attacks by a new player in Manhattan. City Hall, Midtown, and Chelsea. Full-on scorched earth, sir. Complete annihilation. If they're attacking here, I have no doubts that efforts on Roosevelt Island are doomed for failure as well. It appears our silent partner has decided to remain not so silent anymore. Disappointing, if not inevitable, the soldier in the armor says to the Charlatan. At the moment, at least, they're removing some annoying obstacles from our path. Those government imbeciles and the bloody Resistance. But what do we do, sir? He stands up, dwarfing the other character. We stand fast for now, Richie. Post your men and prepare for what comes next. I'm confident we are secure in our tower for the time being, but our former partners know this as well. They may be sneaky, but they aren't stupid, and nor am I. We can see looks like binoculars looking over the line. Keep your friends close, and keep your enemies closer. Lieutenant Wantabi, we just got word from City Hall, sir. Jiro looks down. Mayor Palmani and Chief Fairley are dead, sir. Damn it, everything's happening too fast. Sir? Not important. We've got a city to serve and protect. Let's get a 3-man team spread out across the island. No looting or vandalism on our watch. You copy, Sergeant Warre? Copy, LT. Sorry, Casey Marie. Shouldn't be this way. Now, back to the computer screen with April and Zayton. Warning, unknown forces outside the compound. They are attacking indiscriminately, decimating both Crusader Knights and Resistance soldiers. Who the hell? We gotta get out there. Your grandkids too, Dr. Jones. Like it or not, this is our Alamo. No, wait. It's okay, says Moja. We got this. Puts a mask over her face. They all get ready. Moya's right. We've got your back. Are you sure? Hell yeah. Yeah, Just like you said, Granny April. We're mutant ninja turtles, remember? As they all suit up, and then they head out into action. Now, not afraid to use their powers, we can see that Odin's already gone to stone. Now the electricity coming off of Yi is making a net that they're using to take out some ninjas as they barrel into them, taking the ninjas out pretty quickly. Look at 'em kick ass out there, says Tinker 2. Looks like you were worried for nothing, April. I hope so. Any word from Casey? Nothing, yet, Dr. Jones, says Ahmed. We're trying our best, boss, but right now the comms are going nuts. Damn it, maybe I'm worried about the wrong kid. Come on, April, Casey's fine, says Tinker 2. Who do you think taught those turtle kids how to fight? Warning, interior security sensors are picking up an anomaly. Boom! An explosion knocks everybody down. April, on the ground, nose bleeding, is the only one who's awake. Zayton is on the floor in pieces. Everybody else is knocked unconscious. Oh, well, Mrs. Jones, long time no see. My apologies for that little C4 entrance just now. I figured knocking would be a waste of everyone's time. Now Jigsaw picks up April and holds her above his head. Now, where might I find them slippery little critters of yours, ma'am? Jigsaw is attacking. Back to the turtles, who are now fighting in front of Casey Marie, who's on the ground, mask half shattered. Kids? Gotta help kids. There is no helping those monstrosities, warrior. It's all of a sudden 4 foot soldiers point a sword at her. Their time is done, as is yours. The future belongs to the Foot Clan. Casey looks shocked and gets her composure. Yeah? Prove it. She grabs her 2 Eskrima sticks, getting ready to fight, faces them down. Starts by attacking one of them, hits him on the side of the face, then knocks another one down. In the fracas, her mask gets kicked off. We hear the voice of Michelangelo, the Ronin. We are ninja, Casey Marie. We live our lives bound by duty and honor. We fight for it. And sometimes we die for it. Now completely surrounded by ninjas, we see a flashback. The art style changes to Ben Bishop's art style. And these things, honor, strength, sacrifice, are rooted in discipline and come with a heavy price. Do you understand? As they sit in lotus position across from each other, candles lit. Yes, Master Michelangelo. Yeah, I thought I understood it too when I was your age. Times when it felt like fighting would never stop. I found out real quick now that my wife had a nasty way of showing me over and over how clueless I really was. We see him standing over his dead brothers, then standing over Master Splinter, when honor was nothing more than a bad joke. When sacrifice was just insane tragedy. Turning over the little girl who was killed when he was in Mongolia. So many times when the price seemed too high, just too heavy, and I just wanted to quit. He holds up a medallion. Quit my discipline, quit being a ninja, quit being alive. But I didn't, and I won't. Because one constant picks me up and pushes me forward, showing her the token. And this sees me through, my family, my clan, and now your clan too, Casey. Clan Hamato. We see the Hamato clan, the sigil that she holds. Wake up, ninja. On your feet. Your fight is not yet over. Who? I am Master Musaragi of Clan Hamato. But how? A story for another time. But just know that my elite guard are here now. So it looks like the Clan Hamato guard is taking on the foot soldiers. And the tide of battle is thus turned in our favor. But we do not yet understand the situation inside your compound. Oh no, says Casey Marie. Flashback to April, who's being choked right now by Jigsaw as he's got her above his head and his arm. I won't ask again, Mrs. Jones. Where are those damn mutants? In your eye! As she reaches her hand out, her mechanical hand to poke into his eye, blinding him. He drops her. You're gonna pay for that, old woman. Yeah, well, same on you, old purple dragons. All bark, no bite. That's Dr. Jones to you, soldier boy, she says, holding his eye and showing it to him. Blood dripping down from his eye socket. You know, I really was planning on letting you live once you told me where those mutants were. Was even gonna turn him over to that limey prick Charlatan alive, too. But now, as he punches the ground with a smash, it looks like a huge release of kinetic energy. I'm gonna kill every last one of you! Casey Marie talks to the turtles. Come on, kids, we need to get back inside. Yes, Sensei, says Odyn. April, doing her best to dodge every strike from Jigsaw, gets out of the way. You're all dead! She ducks through his legs. No! You'll never hurt my family, as she punches him in the back of the kidney, knocking him down. Never! Oh my God, I remember her. From the time that we fought the purple dragons with Grammy. I think her name was Monarch. She stands stuck to the wall. It looks like a sigh through her shoulder. The dragons? What the hell are they doing here? Yi was talking to Casey Marie Jones as Jigsaw is fighting April. I didn't say hurt. I said kill. As he produces a small pistol and shoots April almost directly in the heart. Gah! Stubborn old broad. What? As we see an explosion that seems to tear him apart on a cellular level. Just with a bzzz, Zayton shows up. April. Zayton, old friend. April, bleeding from the head, bleeding from a wound in her stomach. Always happy to help me. Mom! They arrive just in time to see the last minutes of April as she's bleeding out. No, not like this. No, please. It's okay, kiddo, it's okay. I protected the family. Now it's up to you. As her head falls down to the side, and she dies. The four turtles and Zayton Honeycutt look down as Casey Marie Jones holds on to April, who dies. So it's over then. We see the mysterious person on the phone. First phase of Operation Phoenix. Yes, they're all dead. The mayor, the police chief, the major gang leaders, except for Charlatan. Ah, yes, old friend the Chevalier. He's been a useful puppet, and we'll cut his strings in all due time. We see it looks like a Koro Kabuto Foot Clan helmet. One thing that you should know, actions against Clan Hamato were not a complete success. There were some who escaped Matsur Mosagashi among them. Mosagashi? Should we be concerned? No, like the Charlatan, a minor inconvenience that can be dealt with later. For now, secure your city and prepare for Phase 2. New York City and Japan are once again under the control of the Foot Clan. And soon the entire world, Brother Jiro. As we can see, the mysterious force that was on the phone is an identical twin of Jiro. And that's the end of the Last Ronin II Re-evolution.
It's pizza time.
And now, in a segment that we call Pizza Time, where we discuss any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or pizza-related food, I give you Pizza Time.
Now, your pizza recipe of the day, ham and cheese pie with artichokes and broccoli. Active about 30 minutes, total 40 minutes, serves about 4. Ingredients: 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, plus more for brushing. 1 9-ounce box of frozen artichoke hearts. 1 small leek, white and light green parts only, sliced. 1 4-ounce piece of Black Forest ham, chopped. 1 1/2 cups of chopped broccoli florets. Kosher salt and freshly ground black pepper. 1 round refrigerated pie dough, half of a 14-ounce package. 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and 1 cup of grated Gruyere cheese. Step 1. Preheat the oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Heat the olive oil in a large nonstick skillet over medium-high heat. Add the artichokes in at a single layer and cook, turning until browned, about 2 to 3 minutes. Scatter the leek, ham, and broccoli on the top and cook, stirring until the vegetables soften, about 2 to 3 minutes. Season with salt and pepper. Step 2. Line a rimmed baking sheet with foil. Unroll the pie dough on the prepared pan and gently flatten to the curled edges. Spread the mustard on the dough, leaving a 1-inch border. Top with half the Gruyere in the vegetable mixture and then the remaining Gruyere. Step 3. Fold the edge of the dough, pleating as needed. Lightly brush the crust with olive oil and sprinkle with pepper. Bake until the pastry is golden brown and the cheese melts, about 20 to 25 minutes. Pro tips: leeks can have a lot of dirt and sand on them inside. Clean them, slice them first, and then wash in a salad spinner with cold water. Keep a box of frozen artichokes on hand for recipes like this one. They taste more like fresh than the canned stuff. And then assemble the pie like a galette. Spread out all the toppings in the middle of the dough and then fold into the edge, pleating as you go. And that's your recipe for today: ham and cheese pie with artichokes and broccoli.
Cowabunga, dudes!
Thank you for listening to the Epic Tales from the Sewers podcast. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. This podcast has no affiliation with Eastman, Laird, Mirage Studios, IDW Studios, Archie Comics, Nickelodeon Studios, or Paramount. This podcast is a part of the Dorkening Podcast Network and the Collector's Maze Network, and is sponsored in part by Deadly Grounds Coffee, coffee to die for. Check out our other shows on thedorkening.com and thecollectorsmazenetwork.com.
Epic Tales from the Sewers is recorded by Justin Cooper. Be sure to check out some of our other amazing shows on the Dorkening, like Splash Pages, Retro Redoctopus, Comics Paradox, The Dork Knight, Bear at Night Podcast, The Old Man Wade Show, Hooked on Movies, Token with the Dead, and The Wicked Horror Show. And check out the amazing shows on the Collector's Maze Network, The Creature Designer, Glyph Keepers, Cost for Hope, Road Tripvia, Realmcast, Eat, Drink, and Game, Floor Access, Scooby Addicts, A Cartridge and a Quest, Nerdless Miniatures, Welsh Wizarding Collector, and House of Geekery.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. We have very active lifestyles. It's not all wandering the countryside aimlessly or scaring passing motorists. And we all love a good cup of joe. And there's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. Bold, robust, delicious. It's coffee that can wake the dead. With over a dozen different roasts and flavors, Deadly Grounds can satisfy the most finicky of coffee addicts. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Greetings and shabibans. We are the Retro Redoctopus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Well, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite Seed's trying to say is that on Retro Redoctopus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh.
And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Dorking Podcast Network with new episodes every Technical Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Redoctopus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
It took me 10 years to make the perfect man cave.
And then we took it over. And we made it into the multiversal chamber.
Then I started my own podcast.
And we took that over too. And we're the co-hosts, the Multiverse Kids.
Yeah, and I'm the dad, the geeky dad. And every week, we what?
We review the movies, shows, and books, games, and toys.
Yeah, and sometimes we even have a special guest. So, join us every week on the Geeky Dad Podcast.
Hello, intrepid listeners. This is the Generation Playlist Podcast, a podcast about music where we are your guides through a particular group or artist.
We talk about the music, and then we make a customized playlist to share with you, our listeners. And you can check us out wherever you listen to podcasts and find our playlists on Spotify.